Welcome students to this week's pre-K and kindergarten lesson. I think this is week 7. This is Mr. Gant here, so let's just hop right into it. So today what you're going to need is you will need a soccer ball or a kickball, anything that you can kick. You're going to need 4 markers, so you could use cones, hats, shoes, socks, anything to like label on the ground where you are. You're going to need closed-toed shoes. You're going to need paper, pencil, a solid wall, and some open space. All right, so today we're going to be doing our instant activity first. So for our instant activity, you may recognize this activity. This is the this or that game. So each slide will just have different activities for you guys to do, and it's going to be fun. So here we go. Alrighty, so the first this or that we're going to do is, if you like orange, you're going to do the activity on the left, and if you like green more, you're going to do the activity on the right. Alrighty, so I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds to figure out which one you want. Make sure you lock in your head so you don't change it. All right, is everybody ready? Here we go. So if you would rather the color orange, you're going to be doing jumping jacks, just like this lady on the left is doing. Make sure you spread those feet out and have your hands go up. And if you prefer green, you're going to be doing push-ups, just like myself is doing in this GIF on the right. Alrighty, so everybody make sure you're in your open space. I'm going to give you a countdown, and then we're going to do this for 30 to 45 seconds. Then I'm going to give you a little bit of time to rest, and we're going to get right into the next one. So for those who are doing push-ups, make sure you get down on the ground. Alrighty, is everybody ready? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, begin. Make sure you guys are focusing on your form. If you're doing push-ups and they get a little too hard, you can just sit down on, or you can get down on your knees and just continue to do push-ups that way. That'll make it a little bit easier on you. For jumping jacks, you can slow down your pace a little bit. If you're getting tired, we got about 15 more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job, everybody. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to relax. We're going to get into the next one. Make sure you're shaking those arms out, making sure you're loose, ready to go for our lesson today. All righty, is everybody ready for the next one? All right, here we go. This one's a little bit more fun. So if you prefer birthday cake, which is the picture here on the left, you're going to do the left exercise. And if you would rather have ice cream, you're going to do the one on the right side. I know this one's definitely a little bit tougher than green or orange, but we're going to have to choose. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to pick. I think this one might be a little bit harder. It might be a little bit more split. All right, give you a couple more seconds to make your decision, and we're going to show those exercises. Is everybody ready? All right, here we go. So if you prefer birthday cake, you're going to be doing curl-ups, which is what you see myself doing here on the left. So you're going to have those knees slightly bent. You're going to be laying on your back, and you're going to slide your hands forward, try to touch the bottoms of your heels. You should feel your core, which is in your stomach. You should feel it getting tighter. Try to reach your shoulder blades off the ground. If you chose ice cream, you're going to be doing wall sits, which I am doing in this picture on the right. So you're going to just act like you're sitting in a chair, or an invisible chair, I would say. Try to keep your knees at 90 degrees. Try to push your back into that wall and stay in that position for as long as you can hold it, okay? So we're going to do this one for about 30 seconds. So I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds to get into these positions. Curl-ups, you guys should be on the ground. If you're doing the wall sits, you should be sitting on the wall somewhere. All righty, here we go. And 3, 2, 1, begin. So for those of you who are doing wall sits, just try to hold that position for as long as you can. If you can't, you can stand up, and then whenever you're ready, try to get right back into it. Curl ups, just keep sliding those hands. Try to touch the bottoms of your feet. We got about 10 more seconds of this, then we're going to move on, okay? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job, everybody. All right, so I'm going to give you a couple more seconds. I'll probably give you 10 to 15 seconds to relax, shake your legs out, make sure your core is not too tight. And then we're going to get into the next one. All right, let's move right on into it. So for our next one, for all you beach people, this is you on the left. If you like the beach and visiting the beach, going on vacation there, any type of aspect that has to deal with the beach, you're going to do the stretch on the left, or the activity, excuse me, on the left. And then for those of you who like to go camping or hiking, like to go in the mountains and see the beautiful views, you're going to be doing the one on the right. So I'll give you a couple seconds to decide. All right, we're going to get right into it. Here we go. So for those of you who prefer the beach, you're going to be doing arm circles forward, just like this lady's doing. And for those of you who prefer the mountains or going camping, anything like that, you're going to be doing arm circles backwards. So for both these stretches, or for these exercises, you're going to have your arms straight out. And for forward, you're just going to be swinging them slightly forward. And then backward, you're just swinging them slightly backward, okay? So everybody put your arms out. We're going to be doing this for 30 to 45 seconds. Halfway through, I'll tell you to make your circles a little bit bigger. This will just open up your range of motion a little bit more. All righty, 3, 2, 1, begin. All right, we're going to start opening up a little bit. Try to make the circles a little bit bigger. Now make really big circles, as big as you can. Swing those arms super wide. You guys are doing an awesome job. Only a couple more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Awesome job, students. So for those, your shoulders should be feeling pretty warm now. Should be feeling a little bit sore. We'll give you a couple seconds to regroup, and then we'll get into the last this or that question for today. All right, here we go. Our last question. So, if you would rather prefer going on a roller coaster, you're going to do the activity on the left, and if you would prefer going on a water slide, you're going to do the activity on the right. So I'll give you a couple seconds to decide. I know both of these are super fun. They're both two of my favorite activities to do in the summertime. All right, here we go. So if you would rather go on a roller coaster, you're going to be doing sumo squats. So you're just going to widen your feet out. You're going to squat down like a sumo wrestler would. If you would rather go on a water slide, you're going to be doing star jumps. This is very similar to jumping jacks, but you're going to be jumping up and you're going to be spreading your arms out, just like this lady is doing in this picture. So I'll give you a couple seconds to set your feet up, excuse me. And we're going to go ahead and begin. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, begin. You guys are doing an awesome job. We got about 15 more seconds, then we're going to get into our health-related activity for today. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome job, everybody. So I'll give you a couple seconds to shake out your legs and your arms. I know some of these are they'll make you a little bit sore, but we're trying to get you guys warmed up for today's lesson. So without further ado, we'll get right into our next part of the lesson. Alrighty, so this is our health-related fitness activity for today. So the purpose of this is to raise your heart rate up before the lesson. So what I'm going to have you do is right now I'm going to have you put your hand over your heart, and it should be beating not too fast. You should be able to feel a slight beat in your left chest area. So if you put your right hand on your chest, you should feel it beating slightly fast, not too fast. After this activity, we're going to do this again, and we're going to see the difference, okay? So the setup for this activity, those markers that we were talking about before, we're going to have you lay them out on the floor in a square. They should be about 3 to 4 feet apart from each other, just like these hats are in this picture. So I'll give you a couple seconds to do that, and then we'll get right into it. All right, so I hope everybody's set up by now. If you're not, please try to do so, or pause the video and set up, and then you can resume when you're ready. So the first one we're going to be doing is we're just going to be walking around the cones, or the markers. That is what Mr. Granger is doing in the leftmost picture. So you can just see him walking just at a slow pace. Excuse me. So we're going to have you all start doing that right now. We're going to do this for about 45 seconds. Keep in mind, just keep a slow pace. Every time you step, extend your arms forward. Just walk around those cones like you normally would. You guys are doing an awesome job. Keep it up. All right, we got about 10 more seconds. And then we're going to go directly into the next one. So our next one is jogging. So you're going to be going in the same direction, but you're going to pick it up to a jog. So a jog is just a slow run, a little bit faster than walking, but not fully running yet, all right? So in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's pick it up into a slow jog. All right, in about 10 seconds, we're going to have you reverse and go the opposite way. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and have you stop. You're going to turn around and do the same thing, but you're going to go the opposite way. So if you're going clockwise, you're going to go counterclockwise and vice versa. We're going to do this for about 15 to 20 more seconds, then we're going to move into our next one. All right, we got 10 seconds left. Our next one, we're going to be hopping. So you're going to be standing on one foot, jumping like a bunny rabbit would all around those cones. Make sure you stay on that one foot the whole time. So we're going to start hopping on our right foot in 3, 2, 1. Begin hopping on your right foot, everybody. Alrighty, everybody. Now we're going to switch to our left foot. So you can stop, and then you can put your left foot down. You can start hopping like a bunny rabbit would on his left foot. Try to keep that right foot up. Try to keep your balance and keep jumping around on that left foot. We got about 20 more seconds, then we'll move right into the next one. Alrighty, so in about 10 seconds, we're gonna move straight into jumping or hopping. This is gonna be on 2 feet. You're gonna jump off of both feet and then land on both feet and just keep hopping around the entire square, okay? So in 3, 2, 1, we're gonna begin hopping. You guys are doing an awesome job. You should be a little tired now. We're almost done. That is the purpose of this activity. I'll explain it better a little bit after, but just keep hopping. Try to jump as high as you can. Everybody stop. Now we're gonna go the opposite way. So we're gonna hop backwards. Excuse me, in the backwards direction. So you're gonna, if you were going clockwise, you're gonna go counterclockwise now. We got about 15 more seconds and then we're done with this activity for today. You guys are doing an awesome job. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, relax everybody. So I can imagine you guys are all pretty tired from that since we kept going continuous. There was a reason behind that. There's a reason I didn't give you guys a break or anything. So now what I'm gonna have you do, we did this at the beginning of the lesson. I'm gonna have you take your right hand. I'm gonna have you place it over your chest, just like so. So can you guys tell me what you feel? That's right. You should feel your heartbeat and it should be beating a lot faster than it was before. Okay. So this is because since you're working out and you're moving around more, that is making your heart beat faster. Okay. So when you're working out your muscles, it makes your heart beat faster. That's because your muscle or your heart is a muscle, excuse me, and it's pumping blood to your muscles. Alrighty, everybody. Without further ado, we're gonna get right into our lesson for the day. So today, what are we learning? Today we're going to learn how to kick an object from a stationary position, okay? So this is used in kickball and soccer. You kick in football. Many sports you need to learn how to kick. So we're going to do it right now. So we're going to get right into it. So our first activity today, this is called Dino Sweeps. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be standing in your own self space, and you're going to work on air at first on the cues of how to kick a soccer ball, okay? So you'll stand in a stationary position. You're going to place your non-preferred foot directly on the ground under you, and you're going to swing that your dominant foot or your preferred foot you would like to kick with. You're going to swing it back, make contact, or look down at where the ball would be. Swing your leg back, keep your eye on the ball, and then you're going to swing your leg forward as if you're kicking the ball, and then you're going to follow through, okay? So on this next slide, I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then we're going to start doing this ourselves. So here's myself doing the activity on the leftmost picture. So you see how I keep my non-preferred foot planted under me, and then I'm going to have my kicking foot swing back in the air. I'm going to have my eye down where the ball would be, and I'm going to kick with the inside of my foot, and then I'm going to follow through, okay? All right, so everybody get in your self space. Plant that non-preferred foot down, and I'm going to give you a couple minutes to practice this. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, begin. All right, begin kicking that or doing this kicking motion. Focus on the cues, excuse me, of swinging your foot back, kicking with the inside of your foot, and following through. You guys are doing an awesome job. Just keep it up. Keep swinging that foot back, following through. Make sure you're using the inside of your foot, not your toe, to kick the ball, okay? You can be using as little power or as much power as you would like. Keep in mind, swinging your foot just a little far back and then kicking it softly will make the ball not go as far. However, the farther you swing your leg back and the more force you put into the ball will make it go farther. So I'm gonna let you practice swinging your leg farther back or shorter back or short. Use that whole range of motion you can. We're gonna do this for about 15 more seconds, and then if you're feeling comfortable, I'm gonna let you try to switch to the opposite leg and do the same cues with your non-preferred kicking foot. So this time, if you would like to, you can try to do the same cues with your other foot. If you're still trying to get these cues down, that's perfectly fine. Just try to keep practicing with your preferred foot. Remember the cues of non-kicking foot next to the ball, swing your foot back, inside of the foot, and follow through. Awesome job, students. We got about 15 more seconds on this activity, then we're going to move into the next activity. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, you guys did perfect on that. So for our next activity, we're going to use those same cues that we just practiced in this one, only we're going to use the ball for the next one, and we're going to progress in how we are doing it, okay? So without further ado, here we go. So this activity is called TRex Kicks. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be standing 5 to 10 feet you're going to be standing 5 to 10 feet from a solid wall, and you're going to be on a stationary poly spot or next to your marker, whichever you have, your hat or your shoe or your sock or whatever. And you're going to be kicking your ball towards the wall, getting used to using those cues and getting used to the different levels of power needed to make the ball go farther or harder or softer or whatever. So this is what it's going to look like. Excuse me. So you're going to be standing 5 to 10 feet away from your wall. You're going to be having the ball stationary next to you, just like we have here on the left. You're going to put your non-preferred foot next to the ball. You're going to swing your leg back, just like we did in the past activity. You're going to use the inside of your foot, and then you're going to follow through, okay? So the picture on the left is what it should look like hitting the wall and coming back to you. This is a medium to hard kick, so you can see how the ball came back to you pretty fast. And then on the right, this is a picture from the side view, just showing the same kick from a different angle. Alrighty, so if everybody's ready, we're going to go ahead and begin this activity. Make sure you're starting off with soft kicks, so it's not bouncing too far off the wall. Once you get used to that, I will say you can progress a little bit harder into harder kicks, but for now, let's just stick with soft kicks. So we're going to be doing this for about 20 more seconds. When I say go, I'm going to allow you guys to kick the ball a little bit harder, swing that leg back a little bit farther, just to see how much harder the ball, or how much farther and how much faster the ball goes. So now I'm allowing you guys to kick the ball at a medium speed. Go ahead and just sample with that a little bit. Just swing your leg back a little bit farther, put a little bit more force into the ball so you can see what happens to the ball. Keep in mind, I'm hoping you guys are keeping that non-kicking foot next to the ball while you kick it. You're swinging that leg back, keeping your eye on the ball, using the inside of your foot to kick the ball, and you're following through. You guys are doing an awesome job. So now I'm going to allow you to use a hard force. So what I'm going to have you do is swing your leg back as far as you can. And you're going to kick that ball as hard as you can right into the wall, okay? Make sure you're still trying to kick it straight forward, so it should bounce right back to you. If you're struggling at all, or if you're kicking the ball too far or not far enough, I'm allowing you to scoot forward or just stay at a medium or soft kick. For those who feel comfortable, you're allowed to kick at a hard force. I'm going to let you do this for about 30 more seconds, and then we're going to into our last activity of the day. We're going to play a little game. About 15 more seconds. Focus on those cues. Make sure your non-preferred foot is right next to the ball when you kick it. Make sure you swing your leg back. Make sure your eyes are down. Make sure you're using the inside of your foot and you're following through. We're going to do 2 more kicks, and then we're going to move on. Last kick, everybody. Awesome job. Alrighty. So what I'm going to have you do now is I'm going to have you grab your ball. I'm going to have you put it between your feet, turn towards me so you can see what the next lesson is going to look like. I'm going to explain it, and then I'm going to let you go back to your self space against the wall. And we're going to do our last activity. All right. So eyes up here. Make sure that ball is between your feet so you can focus. Our last activity, activity 3 today, is called Raptor Shots. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be 5 to 10 feet away from the wall, just like we were in activity 2. Only for this one, we're going to have 4 cones put out, and I'll show you what it'll look like in the next slide. So we're going to have our 4 cones put out. The 2 middle cones, if you make it inside of these 2 cones, you're going to receive 2 points. If you make it inside the 2 outer cones, you're going to receive 1 point. And if you hit a cone, you're going to get 3 points, okay? So each student, keep track of your own scores. We're going to see how many points you guys can get in this time frame. If you feel comfortable kicking, you can try to shoot at those cones or at the middle goal. If you don't feel comfortable, just try to kick it within any of them. That's okay. All we're really focused on is just learning the cues of kicking today. I just figured I would throw out this game to make it a little more fun for you guys, for those of you who are doing well in the kicking, okay? So this picture in the middle, this is what the setup is going to look like. So you see I have my 4 hats set up. The 2 outermost, if I make it between the maroon and gray hat and the blue and camo hat, that would be 1 point. If I make it between the blue and the gray hat, that would be 2 points. And if you kick the ball and it hits any of the hats, that would be 3 points. So I'm going to have you go ahead and set that up. They should be about 3 to 4 feet apart for each of them. We can have the parents help set up too, if that's possible or necessary. Alrighty, so I think everybody should be set up by now. If not, just go ahead and pause the video, have your setup, make it look like this one in the middle picture, and then come back and hit play when you're ready. So we're using the same cues. This is the same exact kicking motion we did before. You're gonna have that non-kicking foot next to the ball. You're gonna swing your leg back. You're gonna look at the ball, kick with the inside of your foot, and you're gonna follow through, okay? So without further ado, excuse me, we're gonna get right into it. So go ahead and start kicking, everybody. Make sure you or your parent is keeping track of your points. Let's see who can get the most points today or who can hit the most cones. I did this activity earlier today and I got 20 points. Let's see if any of you guys can try to beat that. I think a couple of you might be able to. You guys are looking really good. You guys are doing an awesome job. Keep focusing on those cues. Make sure that foot is next to the ball before you kick it. Make sure you're looking at the ball. Make sure you're using the inside of your foot. Make sure you guys are slinging that leg back and following through. You guys are doing an awesome job. If you're feeling comfortable and you want a little bit of a challenge, you can try to back up a couple feet and still keep kicking. This will make it a little bit harder to score the points. If you're struggling at all, it's okay. This is our first lesson on kicking. We'll have plenty more. You can go ahead and scoot up a little bit and just use a soft force and try to kick it into the goal or hit one of the cones. Also, if you would still like a challenge, you can try to use your opposite foot like we did in the first activity. Don't feel bad if you cannot do this. This is a skill that we will be learning in a couple years, honestly. Just keep practicing those cues, everybody. All right, we're going to play the game for about 30 more seconds. I'm assuming most of you have surpassed my score of 20. I'm hoping you guys have hit a couple cones by now or made a couple of the smaller goals. If not, that's okay. We're just going to keep practicing. We're going to get better and better every single day. Make sure we're focusing on those cues. Keep that non-kicking foot next to the ball. Make sure you swing your leg back. Keep your eye on the ball. Use the inside of your foot, and you're going to follow through. Alrighty, we got 2 more kicks each, and then we're going to move on to the next part. All right, everybody set up for your last kick. For those of you who can, let's try to aim for one of the hats or the cones. Alrighty, awesome job, everybody. So I'm going to have you hold your ball, put it between your feet, eyes up at me. We're going to move on to the end of our lesson today. All right, so for the assessment part of our lesson, parents, this will be filled out by you. There's a peer evaluation sheet to assess your students' learning of kicking. So here's the link. I'm going to attach it in under the video in the comment section. So all you're going to do is just print this out, perform the assessment. It's super easy. There's directions and everything. And that will be it for today. So I hope you guys had fun. Again, kicking is it's an awesome skill used in many sports that we all play, soccer, football, kickball. So for next class, we are going to be learning volleying and dribbling. Volleying is a skill used in volleyball and many other sports. Dribbling, this is used in soccer also. So I hope you guys had fun today, and I hope you have a good one.